his time, more valuable than money.
Down.
Today, y'all. The generational gaps or things like that.
Get focused. We're going to stretch out. We're going to fly, and we're going to keep growing. On three, loud and proud. 1, 2, 3. We're getting focused. What's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy. And we got Fred Lennartz, the subprime hero, who's on the screen and trying to be the best that he can be, but he's a little shook up, a little broke up, because we have had some interesting weather come through, everybody. But that's not going to stop us from doing this brew. We also have the one, the only Jake Berkal up in the house from Auto Hauler Exchange. Welcome to the party, Jake.
What's up, gentlemen? How are we?
We are really doing great. Having a great time. Enjoying. This is my birthday week, so I'm excited about all the love.
What are the plans? What are we doing?
Oh man, well today I'm actually gonna get a little bit of Korean because I just love it, and my family doesn't get the chance to eat it too much. And we get some of the best Korean all around inside of Radcliffe, the city that Fred graduated in. But we're excited to be able to do that. And just, having the grandkids. When you have the grandkids, the coolest thing is to just have the grandkids,
sure.
Right? That's the coolest thing to have happening is when they come around. But that's what's popping over in this neck of the woods. Where are you jumping in from today?
We're in good old Rochester, Michigan, man. We had some weather too yesterday. Some straight line storms came through here, so it's something in the air, quite literally, right now.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely different when we have all this weather that we're navigating through. There he is, subprime heroes coming through. What's up, Fred?
What's up, man? I'm just decided to make a shift and do it on my phone. Does it sound better?
Hey, I appreciate you being a certified solutionary and always being ready to adapt. Definitely sounds better. We can hear you.
That's right. So I'm here. That's good. Well, I'm here. I'm excited to be here. We do have a great show for you all. One of the things that I'm excited about is the guest that we have today. He's somebody that you and I have known for a long time. He's the one who introduced us to this wonderful game called pickleball that we absolutely love to play, right? And to the point where I think that the guest, Jean-Paul, will know, I love it so much, I freaking hate it at the same time, right? So it's so much fun. I enjoy playing, especially with you, Lou. We get to travel across the country, and Lou and of course, Jean-Paul introduced us to a game that you and I get to do together, and it's pretty fun. We've brought our kids into it. We've met a lot of new friends with it. So really excited to be here on the show today to talk to you guys really about how AHX. And I'm excited because Auto Hauler Exchange is doing some big things out there. But I was talking with Jean-Paul just at this beginning of the weekend, and we were talking about the benefits of using them and how it's for him as an independent dealer doing what he's doing, how it's helped him make more money in so many other ways. And I'm excited to talk about that. He's a huge fan of them. I also know he's a huge fan of us, I think. Yeah, I love him to death, man. Excited to do the show today. Let's go.
Heck yeah. And speaking of fans, we are excited that one of the biggest fans of Jean-Paul Guidry is in the room. The one, the only Tony Lucas is up in here saying, let's go. We're excited for him being up inside of this cafe today. We're pumped up for everything that's brewing in your world. Appreciate you, Tony, jumping in. But we got a challenge for all you car guys and car gals. First, we want to make sure that you do tag a car guy and tag a car gal.
Tag a car gal.
And share.
Let's get this out there.
We are pumped up to be able to have this solutionary on the screen again today. We have been at his dealership. He's been with us in different places inside of the country, different events, and he is no stranger to brewing solutions. He literally is one of the best baristas we know. One of the first times that we had the chance to hang out with him, staying at his house down in Louisiana, he made us an incredible brew of coffee, and it was, of course, Car Guy coffee, and it was a fantastic cup, big brew, and I was pumped up to be able to have that. But then go to play some pickleball after going from 0 to 100 in about 4 seconds when we went absolute ludicrous speed. Well, no, actually, we went plaid, right? Yeah, we went plaid in that mug inside of his Tesla on the main road at 4:30 in the morning. It was an awesome, awesome introduction to the type of power that's inside of a Tesla. Yeah, that's what happens when you're a dealer in the town and you're basically the mayor of the area, the underboss mayor that Jean-Paul is. But we had a really, really great time out there, had some great time with his people. Some have come, some have gone on, some are making big things happen. But again, the challenge that we have for you all is to get people in here, but we want you to let us know if you can recognize this tune from a great sitcom back in the day, as we introduce to you a little bit of what's brewing over at Motor City down in Lafayette, Louisiana, where they sell anything that's got a motor and a VIN. So check this out as we get ready to bring our guest on.
To predictability, the milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This old world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whispers, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere's a face, somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look, right out.
So I have to know, because Jake, I don't know if you're up of age yet to really
Full
know.
house, dude.
Come on, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Jake.
Do something harder next time.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that. Way to know your stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Heck yeah. No, it was a great time being out there with them. Fred, looks like we got you a little bit more crisp right now. Heck yeah. So I'm pumped up to keep this party started. Ladies and gentlemen, help us to make welcome the Louisiana madman himself from the Bayou Garage in Motor City, the one, the only, Jean-Paul Guidry. Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, how in the world do you live up to that introduction, man? Wow, golly, Lou. Old country bar over here, just kind of hanging out, not even thinking I'm going to even get that type of introduction. That's pretty amazing, man. I really appreciate you guys. Love being on the show. I mean, we've had some great times doing everything, alligator hunting, pickleballing, car business. I think it's a full-blown package, and I'm honored to be on the show to try to help others save the money that I've been saving with Jacob and them, man. It's been great. Yeah, thank you.
That's really awesome. Not only have we been able to do all those things that JP just talked about together, but we've had some blessings in eating some good food together. You know, we eat pizza down there, and I love the pizza there. Lou, on the other hand, not quite the pizza. I have left eating pizza there with the top of my mouth so scalded and melted. My skin is peeling, but man, there's some good pizza in that area. But there's nothing but good times with Jean-Paul. And one thing I love about you is that you're always looking for ways to improve, right? And you're always looking for companies and ideas that can help you and your business and your people be able to deliver a better product, you know? And I think that's really great that you teamed up with Auto Hauler Exchange, because Auto Hauler Exchange is doing big things, you know? And I love that. Yeah, Tony Lucas says, Jean-Paul Guidry, my man, I'm excited for this one. Well, folks, stay tuned. Just to drop a little nugget, next Monday we have a show, and Tony Lucas is going to be our guest. We're going to be talking about the moves he's making, folks, so stay tuned for that coming up soon.
Tony, man, what's going on, Tony? Good to see you. No, as margins shrink, it's more and more important that we're able to transport these vehicles as cheap as possible. I mean, we're having we used to be able to pick up 20 cars at an auction, and it was pretty simple. So now we're having to grab onesies, and not as many all at one time. And it's been a blessing, this relationship I have with the company, for sure. It's been great. And yes, the pizza over here is way better than that paper cut pizza that y'all fall in love with over there. But hey, I love all pizza. It's all good. I'm just blessed to
Appreciate that. Brian Ortega saying that I need help always turning down pizza. I got to turn down pizza for my health, everybody. But there's definitely something to be said about the awesome food that's going on down over in Lafayette. But I wouldn't say that pizza is their strong point. I'm just saying that's just the New Yorker in me. But there was one spot that had the jalapenos and a little bit of that honey on it. It was that downtown. Oh, that was some good pizza.
yeah.
It was a good change up on it. But no, we definitely love it. Pizza is my absolute favorite food, and it is always fun to be able to eat that with some friends. But speaking of cutting the pie, there are so many different ways to be able to cut the pie, but there's only so many slices. And inside of this industry, you have to find a way to keep as much meat on that slice as possible. And you guys are helping that actually happen. Jake, you had the chance to connect with Jean-Paul Guidry. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Let me go ahead and write this down because I want to guess how it is that you all met. How is it that you did meet our dealer friend here today?
So I had the fortune of meeting JP through our good friend Glenn Lundy with the 800% crew.
100. That's
so
what I'm
met this crazy dude in New York, and kind of the rest is history. He came to me, he was like, "Hey man, we did we were there. We loved being with the 800% guys, and then he's like, hey, tell me about Auto Hauler Exchange. What are you about? Let's do this." And it was just kind of like, you guys know JP. JP's like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to use you. And here we are a couple years later, and things are still rolling into his dealership.
Heck yeah, that's one thing about Jean-Paul is he's never afraid to try something. He's never afraid to try to do something that he believes is going to bring value to his business, bring value to his community, and ultimately kind of move the needle a little bit. And to just keep it real with you, Jean-Paul, why is it that you, as an independent dealer trying to make moves inside your community, why is it that you always stay so flexible and so pliable to try new different things?
I don't think it's something that I like to do. It's something that's absolutely mandatory. Everything evolves so quickly. Everything's evolving at everything changes. The fees at the auctions, the shipping fees, the transportation fees. It's very, very important that we create a network that we all talk to each other. And what are you doing? What are you doing? And I have, thank God for you and Fred and everyone for introducing me to this great network of people that we've created. And whenever something like really shines out, like this type of product, it's important that we all get together and share. I mean, we all want to keep some of these secrets to ourselves for us to maintain us being competitiveness. But the good thing about the 800% Club, these people are all over the United States. So they're not really in my region. So it's awesome that we get together and share these secrets that we're able to become competitive, so we can increase our volume. We can increase our ability to be competitive in this extremely competitive market that we're in right now. I mean, extremely. So it's been great. It's been great learning from everyone.
And to your point on that, JP, and I don't mean to cut anyone off, but like the more people, at least as far as Auto Hauler Exchange is concerned, the more density we can drive into an area, we're just driving that cost of transport down, right? Mm-hmm. We specialize in the onesie twosies. We're from the 9-car all the way down to the 3-car singles, right? All that kind of stuff. But if there's other guys in your area you can share that truck with, right? Now you're buying down half that truck. You guys are both winning. You're both putting more inventory at a cheaper, more efficient cost. So I always like to say that like we're building lane density all over the country, for you guys and those dealer partners.
Wow, Jacob, I never even thought about that because I always go with 2 other huge buyers, and they definitely use your product, but we've never thought about combining the situation. But we're both buying a good set. If we were sharp, we would combine for a better deal. And when Jake is talking about combining, when I do have a truckload, it's astronomically cheaper than what I was doing before, because I think there's a lot of margin in what some of these places are, including the auction. Not to talk bad about anyone, but including the auction, there's definitely some fat to be cut out that we can benefit from for sure.
And I love that. And that's what Auto Hauler Exchange is trying to do. There was, after we did a couple shows ago, I got some messages from people from other hauling companies, right? And they were like, "Hey, I want to come on the show and I want to dispute this and that." I'm like, listen, no one's talking bad about anybody, and that's not what we're trying to do, right? When we say trim out the fat, it's opportunity. Somebody like Jean-Paul, $200 per deal is a big deal. Like, if he could save 200, he's going to save 200, and that's a huge margin over a year. And when you're talking about the type of metal he's moving and how many cars he's buying. And when you can do that and have those savings, but you pass the savings on to your salespeople, they get a little bit more money. Everybody, the ecosystem is better, right? So being able to partner up with them and find a partner like that to be able to not, it's trimming the fat, but it's saving $1. But what I think Jean-Paul loved the most, when I talked to you the other day, JP, is you were like, you just like being able to have control of that. Knowing what it is. It's not some floated number, it's an exact number, and then you can fine-tune it to wherever you need it to be, in a sense, and the way that you want to put it on paper, at least. You know what I mean? So I love that, and that's awesome.
Some huge things right there, man. Like, the ecosystem is something that we really harp on, right? And it goes back to growing, these subsets, right? And it's not only for the shippers, but it's for the carrier partners too, right? We have a relatively rigorous vetting system, but like, if we can build efficiencies into these carriers, you're going to see decreased prices for the shippers. And for JP to know, like, hey, we're just telling you like it is. We have nothing to hide. We're just going to show you, hey, here is cold hard data of what this lane is moving on this type of unit, multiple units, whatever it might be. JP and his team, they can go in and as they use the system, they're building analytics. They know that right now, snowbird season is flipping a little bit. It might be a little more expensive to get out of some of these southern places just because they don't need to go back up north or whatever it is. But the fact of the matter is, and then you can make educated buys, educated moves based on, the data we're giving you. You set the price, man. Like, that is 100%. Again, I use this stupid pun all the time, and, someone's going to roll their eyes at me, but you guys are in the driver's seat when it comes to your vehicle logistics, plain and simple.
Yep.
I have to talk about something like behind logistics that no one ever thinks about. But, I'm out there buying cars and they have trucking companies that are there and they're, man, I want to haul your cars. Do you realize the potential liability you have by just not knowing this particular person, the insurance, his history on driving? Yep. You have no idea. Like, and these guys will say, yeah, it'll be there, in 3 or 4 days. And 2 weeks later, you don't know who has your cars. You don't know if the guy has insurance. I've had some, without going into detail, I don't know if this show,
baby, keep going.
I don't know if this show can handle some of the situations that I've had, but this really protects the dealer, because guess what? When it comes down to the law and the situation of liability of you own that car, and we're talking about who it's insured, and if something happens and that vehicle isn't insured by the trucking company with the ladle or whatever, the sign in, and that whole process, if it's not professional, you're holding liability, and situations can happen where, like, fatal situations that I'm referring to, that you could be in the middle of a really, really bad situation.
Yeah, man.
That I've seen personally. Like, thank God I got out of a few of them from a trucking company running off the road and not having insurance. It was bad, man. It was bad. So, not only the savings, but the professionalism of them checking into these drivers, the DOT situations, the insurance. I mean, it's just too much. If they're a trusted carrier with Auto Hauler Exchange, you can trust that they've checked into that, which, they have a high standards that it should be more important than anything.
And that is a huge statement right there. And
one thing I'm sorry. One thing I just want to add to that, because JP, that was perfect. I appreciate those words. And it's not just like the initial check-in too. I think there's something to be said that, it's a continuous minute by minute, like, hey, if this insurance is going to lapse, right, within 7 days, because we're doing stuff, Pac Northwest all the way down to the Keys, right? That could be, in that time frame, that insurance lapse. Well, if we have that and our system monitors that, they lose access until they say, and they know why, right? If at any time, driver fitness scores go below what we deem acceptable, hey, your access is revoked. Here's what you need to get back on. And we want to work with the carriers just like we want to work with the shippers. I think, again, that gets misconstrued as like, look, this is a carrier-centric marketplace at its core. We want to build something for the carriers and the shippers. I go back to that ecosystem. But that system's going to continuously monitor, because we want to make sure that everyone's on the up and up, so we don't run into problems like JP unfortunately got, and just make sure that you guys are protected, the carriers are protected, right? That's really what it comes down to.
Heck yeah. Being able to mitigate so many of the issues that come to fruition in the worst nightmare of a dealer, right, is something that you always want to be able to have with a partner. And Auto Hauler, you guys do an awesome job of being able to try to simplify it for them, take out especially the extra red tape that might be there for an independent. For independents, you have enough challenges as it is to be able to get an edge in the business, to be able to save $1 and make $1. It's all on you. You don't have a lot of help from a lot of different angles. So how does it actually help to be able to make sure that you feel like you're running now with the big boys, JP, when you have something like this that's able to kind of give you that speed to lot access while at the same time knowing, I'm safe, I'm actually good? How much more comfortable do you feel inside of that situation?
You have no idea of some of the promises that were made. This is a serious situation where, drivers, they had situations where the drivers fell asleep in the cars and, like really bad stuff where my car is in the middle of nowhere that I have to hire someone else to go get them. No, this has been great. So the main thing is the time on lot. We have everybody has an arbitration process with the deal with the auctions. We need to get these cars back as soon as possible to have them checked out so we can start the arbitration if there's anything that wasn't represented. That is more valuable. I mean, the insurance is number one. The time to get back to the lot for us to do our arbitration process, it's big. Okay, I'm sorry, but a lot of these cars these days, they have issues. We have transmissions, we have cam phasers, cam shafts, we have all this stuff, and without the cars not being there throughout the 10-day or the 7-day or the 14-day PSI that you're purchasing, you can potentially lose a lot. I'm talking about motors, all this stuff to where you had the ability to just send it back. But when that window closes and it's all in your head, and you paid all kind of money for those post-sale inspections, you paid all kind of money for to be protected, and those cars didn't get there in time. And you're holding a very, very expensive mechanic bill that you could have just dropped off at your local auction and moved on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, the time on lot is one of the biggest deals. Once they pick up your order or your however you want to call that, once you pop everything in, look, and this has been so easy. I've actually gotten my office girls and my title clerks, to get them out of their comfort zone and to get them to use the shipping product. That should explain to you, if any of y'all manage people like that, they're comfortable with doing it. And it's been a great experience by having it all taken care of my office staff, which is unbelievable for you to get someone to do something like that.
Heck yeah.
They love it. They know the parameters. It explains explains a lot of the combo packages and how it's simple. It's more maybe at the beginning it may seem a little bit, but he walks you through everything, and it's easy enough to hand it off to someone, and we still never had an issue to this date. Like, oh yeah.
And then I think what you're kind of referring to is that accounting piece too, right? I mean, if we, Auto Hauler Exchange is going to pay the carrier for you guys, right? So that's a whole thing. We talk about tracking these drivers down for W-9s, and these guys want COD, this, that, and the other. Like, that's time consuming. That's taking you guys away from buying cars, from selling cars, which that's what you guys do. let Auto Hauler Exchange take care of that back end stuff, right? We talked about the vetting, we talked about the payment of the carriers, we talked about the tracking of carriers, the ETA updates, you name it. That's what the technology is here to do. JP, go buy cars, go sell cars. Let us do the other stuff.
Wow, I didn't even think about the payment of carriers. The payment of carriers is out of control. So particularly that if you have a carrier that hasn't been paying their drivers and their driver negotiated this situation, and then you're in the middle of some of the weirdest things you could possibly imagine, holding my cars hostage while I paid the dispatcher guy to pay the trucking company, but the dispatcher guy never paid the trucking company. So I'm in the middle of this thing where the guy doesn't want to give me my cars, and I'm like, what? Like, no. Oh,
that's where transparency is king, right? You know exactly, hey, I listed these units for X price. You know exactly what we're paying the driver. You know exactly what you're being invoiced. It shows it to you several times throughout the process. It's customizable, right? Depending on what notifications you want, your dashboard. That's something that, again, we took some of these problems, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two, right? We took those problems like, hey, how can we use tech to fix your headache? How can we make your life easier? And then something that I think JP hit, right on the head. These guys are going a million miles an hour, right? Loading cars, taking cars off, doing their inspection stuff. They don't always know what's going on. That's why we have our team. That's why we have the tech to make sure you guys are square.
I mean, this is awesome. This is literally the hauler's grind, my friends. Like all sides around it. And one thing that I love about Auto Hauler Exchange is that they make sure that exchange isn't a grind for you, right? That's the point. They take on the grind, right? They take on that work and they make it simple. I love that you said that. I mean, to the point where Jean-Paul's not even thinking about that stuff anymore. He's like, wow, that stuff doesn't even occur anymore because I don't have to worry about it because I have a good partner. Folks, and you dealers out there, you general managers who are watching this live, or if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're back listening to this on the podcast, reach out to Auto Hauler Exchange, man. They have the conversation is the first step. Talk to them. Talk to Jake. Jake will talk you right through it. Give JP a call. Jean-Paul is an advocate. He'll tell you what's going on. He's telling you situations I think all of us can relate to. If any of us have ever bought cars and trying to figure out how to get them there, you know what it's been like. Find somebody that's going to make it easy for you, that takes away that grind. Because this show's here to show you the grind. This way you don't have to deal with the grind. So let's go. I love this stuff.
No. Don't call them. No, go buy you a 5-car hauler, add insurance to it, and get a guy, apparently without a CDL, to go pick up those cars and then haul them back and not strap them right and let a car fall off and flip into the street, and then another car total itself on the back of my carrier while we blew the engine on the truck. This is my first, I'm going to do my own shipping. How much money I'm going to save. Dude, I had to fix both of those cars. I had to fix the $16,000 diesel motor that ended up blowing in the truck that was pulling it. I have no idea how this all happened on my first trip. Okay. Seriously. And then insurance on these situations, it's $4,000 or $5,000 a month is a typical, because of Louisiana. I'm sure it's cheaper elsewhere, but none of this is absolutely feasible, including the liability, the hours that he's going to drive. It's not feasible. The companies that come and attack you for the fines on the vehicles. I've had it all. You can't efficiently do it. And it's too much risk for a dealership, and you're exposing yourself because you're 100% responsible of those vehicles while they're in, the dealership's name. I'm telling you this because I've done all of what I just said. You don't want to do that.
And to take that one step further, right? When we talk about headaches, like we all know claims, right? We all know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys like, hey, every car arrives pristine, like from the auction. Stuff happens at the auction that they don't disclose. Stuff happens in you get a rock chip, right? But that is, again, the beauty of the exchange. The carrier that's moving that car has the correct insurance. And then our management team can say, hey, look, we hear your inspection photos. It's all in your dashboard. that car was cleaner than a whistle. There's no crack in the windshield. There was something that, when it delivered. All right, well, how do you want to go handle this? So we do have that to keep the claim moving down the line. So you guys are made whole. That vehicle is ready to be, recon, sold, and you guys aren't having to sit on that lot, incurring interest, and we can even turn claims faster to then get that vehicle sold and then get you guys out of it. So just one other, layer that I got to selfishly plug into what the exchange does for our dealer partners.
Come on, this is the hauler's grind, right? Plug as much as you want to plug into this, right? Say it all. Speaking of putting in some extras here, remember, Jean-Paul is a dealer of many types of motors. For those of you that may have missed the video at the beginning of the show, he's got boats, RVs, side-by-sides,
motorcycles,
all of that stuff.
Trikes.
And you help to solve that problem for somebody trying to move any of those things, right, Jake?
Yeah, motorcycles, boats. We've done it.
How much easier is it for you, Jean-Paul, to be able to have a partner that can handle all of the hauling rather than, man, I got to find a guy that does boats, and now I got to find another guy that does the RVs, or I got to create something like you did. Never do that again. I'm glad that you figured it out the first go that you shouldn't be the one handling that. I'm sorry that you dealt with that headache, though.
Y'all got me on this one. I was still having to use other people on some of those items, and I wasn't aware. I mean, it wasn't a lot, but the Can-Am spiders and the things with the wheel in the middle, and I did sub some of that somewhere else, and I didn't call because they were kind of close. So. Hey, I apologize, buddy. That's good.
Well, and those are all things, again, because the way the exchange is built, right? You can add photos. I mean, we're doing some crazy things. If you look at some of the boards, some of these, some of the fleet companies on here are moving some kind of crazy stuff, upfit vehicles, lifted vehicles, side-by-sides, motorcycles, right? Like, we have the ability to give complete, again, here's this word, transparency back to the carrier, right? So with the ability to put in notes, the ability to put in pictures of the vehicle, to be able to say like, hey, here are the dimensions. Here's exactly what this thing is. So there's no surprise when this guy comes to pick up. Yeah, man, if it needs to go on a trailer and there's auto hauling involved, like, we're in. Send it.
I love this. It's like you guys are the translators, right? Like car dealers speak English, the haulers are speaking Spanish. You guys are right there speaking the language for each other, translating this way that everything is clear and very true. I love this. This is great.
We're trying to translate. And the beautiful thing about being a tech company, right, is I get some feedback from JP. We meet up. He's like, hey, it'd be really cool if I could see this in my, in the dashboard, or when I do this on an uploader or the whatever it might be. Hey, cool. I can walk right over to the development team and say, hey, let's put this on the whiteboard. Let's see, because if it's going to help you, if independents can help independents and franchises can help and the dealer world can help each other. Well, chances are, like, yeah, it's probably worth the build out to make the tech that much better, to make the platform that much better, to make it that much easier for you guys. So, I mean, feedback is everything, and having the in-house, just juggernaut of a team we have, it's super simple to do. They hate when I come, Frank and I come back from conferences like, hey, we had this conversation. Let's, they're like, all right, back to the board. Let's see what we can build out here. So yeah, bring all the feedback.
Wow. Y'all are definitely more limitless than I even knew. I mean, I do ship strange things and whatever. Of course I would call him direct, or they've been calling him direct without me to get these weird things handled. But I mean, people have no idea. Like when they buy certain things and it doesn't fit, you can literally almost buy a vehicle and put that thing in that vehicle and then have them pick it up. The options and there's no limits to this situation. Like I've been in the weirdest scenarios that you can possibly imagine. Like we're in this boat, that boat needs to be picked up, and that truck, what are we going to do with these trucks? And just to bail yourself out and just fly back, it's pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's what we're talking about, everybody. Brewing Solutions here on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. We are talking about how we actually bring solutions when it comes to hauling and vetting and mitigating risk and making sure you get your cars on time. For those of you that do floor plan your inventory, goodness, you know how important it is that you hurry up and get that car retailable and ready to go. And right now, there's so many different things that people are concerned about inside of the industry, so much buzz in the air, but the challenges are always there. If there's anything you want to be able to make sure you do, let's have a great partner that helps make sure that what it is that you purchase makes it to your lot so that you can get it to your customer. If there is one less thing to have to worry about, so be it. And in this world of automotive, the last thing you want is surprises. We always appreciate a nice, pleasant surprise. Like, when a customer shows up and you didn't plan on them showing up, or somebody buys an extra car, all these pleasant surprises are good. But having a hauler issue is never something that you want to try to figure out how to grind on your own. You definitely want to have a partner like Auto Hauler Exchange to be able to help that out with you, and have a dealer like Jean-Paul Guidry that's like, hey, tell me, how can I learn? What more can I do? And how do I actually increase what it is that I'm doing with a partner like you all? Man, this is an awesome conversation, you all. We are having a great time, and time is flying by. And we appreciate you all taking your time out of your busy day. But Jean-Paul, anything else you would like to say to those that are listening, whether it's a franchise dealer, an independent, or even a hauler that might want to know about how to increase their business?
Sure. I can't always tell you what to do, but I can absolutely tell you what not to do, guys. That's, I learn every day. But if any of y'all that are new to this that can learn from the millions of dollars of mistakes that I've made, please do so. Please shortcut yourself with liabilities. Don't put yourself out there. Your dealership insurance is not going to pay. And if you do a huge claim like that, they're going to drop you, and you're not going to have insurance, and you're going to be out of business. I mean, it's that easy. It happens that quickly. You take these risks, and they're not worth it. Use situations like this and with reputable companies that protect you, and that's what's important right here. They can completely wipe you out with certain scenarios, and this is why I love subbing it out to someone as reputable as them. So highly recommend. Thanks for having me on. It's been great. I really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Jean-Paul. Jake, you got anything else for those watching, those listening, and that want to know, hey, how do I get down with Auto Hauler Exchange?
Yeah, give me a shout. autohaulerexchange.com. The thing we harp on is there's no risk here. It is free for shippers and carriers to have an account, right? You guys are not paying until that vehicle successfully picks up and delivers. You can come in, you can try it out. If you use it, you don't use it. Obviously, I think once you actually give it the shot it deserves, you're like, okay, let's go. Let's keep riding. But the hesitation, I don't really understand. Yeah, it's new, but even to JP's point, new isn't always bad. New's not scary. Like no. We're in 2025, right? Tech is here. Let's utilize it. Let's give me your headaches. Give the technology your headaches. Go back to buying cars. Go back to selling cars. Do what makes you guys happy. Do what makes you guys a good dealership.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love that stuff. So true. I love this show, guys, and I love it for so many levels. For one, this was some really great information. I think a lot of us probably heard something we didn't know. We didn't realize. Even Jean-Paul didn't realize that they do certain type of shipping, which is pretty awesome because education is 90% of it, right? It's the application. It takes everything. So folks, go out there and apply something today. If you took something from today and you apply it, I promise you, you're going to get better. If you just listen to it and you just hear it, it was just a conversation. So go out there and turn this conversation to education and make sure you put some application on it. It'll go really well. So I love it. Jean-Paul, brother, always good to see you, dude. Seriously, one of my favorite people on the freaking planet. Absolutely love you. Congratulations on pushing yourself through 75 hard. I know you got some time left, but it'll go by quick. Next thing you know, you're done, brother. So go for it.
It's horrible. Appreciate it.
It sure is.
I'm on day 28, and it's been an awesome experience. Highly recommend it to anyone. Thank you for motivating me through it. You definitely need friends throughout that process. Time is your enemy on that. but the clarity that you get from being a better person, from you taking the time to better yourself each day, the 2-a-days, and the connections that and the clarity that you're able to get for your friends, family, and dealership. It's worth it. So highly recommend all that. Mind, body, soul, work. Let's fix it all. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate each and every one of you taking your time to be with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, car guys and car gals, you've been watching an episode of the Hauler's Grind on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Fred Lennartz, subprime hero.
And you've been brewing solutions with the one, the only Jake Berkal and the loud mouth from the South at the most the one, the only Jean-Paul
Guidry, the Motor City Madman. Let's go.
That's right.
I gotta go.
You all.
Thank you all so much.
Keep
Glad I can help. Let's go. I'm gonna get back to work. It's the last day of the month. Shake and bake.
Let's go.
Let's go.